Hello, hello. Sorry for the inconvenience, but our stream setup doesn't want to work how I intend it to be working. So we need to make some impros here working right. So sorry about that, but it's what's happening here. There is don't see my chat, see nothing. Bad, it's bad. Sorry. A little bit blind now. Currently, give me a second. Hopefully I can get that sorted. So hopefully that's fine now. Oh yeah, sorry then. We don't have the graphics, all the good stuff in here, but we see some cars running on track for NLS 1 stint number 2. So let me quickly bring that up for you. So the 56 car Clockwork Motorsports in the lead, a minute currently to the track design racing number 4 Porsche. In third position it is Green Hell Racing, the Lexus. Here the only Lexus, correct, I think. Here the 64 car in P4. It is Lewis for track design racing car number 2. And in fifth position we have the Audi R8. That's Beetlejuice for GT Finland racers in that 66 Audi. Then Rek in the AMG running. That is the 27 car for Rust Racing Team. E7, yes, Squishy dealer for Nexus Racing in the 58 AMG. D8 F Canu. That is the 29 car, if I'm not mistaken. We have a look, should be, yep, the 29 for DC Team. Then it wasn't me, P9, that is second car for Nexus Racing on the track. So the 59 car in 9th position. We have CO4 in the BMW, run by the Scuderia Adriatica Motorsports, number 14, and Mojo in the AMG, or the sister car of the Scuderia, the 54 car in the 11. Hey, hello, I see someone joining the chat, so hello. Yep, a little bit of impro going on, because the main feed didn't really work. So we have to go naked, unfortunately, with it, but we still are here. And for the second stint of the NLS 1, the 4-hour race, and the qualifiers for the ERF Nürburgring 24-hour race that's happening in 2 weeks' time. So tomorrow we have NLS 2. And this is the first race. We have 24 teams registered for the event. So we can go with 14 and for the main event. So those 2 races will decide the grid for the N24. So we have 2 4-hour races and with same conditions, equal conditions. So the 14 fastest teams on time will qualify for that event later. And the Clockwork Motorsports team is smashing it today. Ferrari 296. Here, a strong performance. Noir and Harris in that first stint. That massive gap for them. A minute to the next car in P2. This is Track Design Racing TDR. The number 4 Porsche. Oh, it was Lugi on the first stint. Now we have Cameron Kaboom behind the wheel, running that P2 currently. Third position, the Green Hell Racing team, the 64 Lexus Quaxi, driving that car. Just 7 seconds the gap. It is 2. The car in front, so that would get close. And also we have Lewis in the number 2 Porsche. Oh, a big drift coming out of the final chicane. And 11 seconds. The gap to P3 and sets at 801.366. That's the fastest lap of the stint so far. What is possible for the number 2 Porsche in this race? Can they catch P3 or even P2? Let's see, Lewis is definitely flying, improving again. This one. So yeah, you see Group 3 cars, GT3 cars on the track. We have a custom BOP, a BOP per car, developed by Philo and Dude together for this race. So every car has a maximum power and minimum weight to it, but this also means that you can fully adjust all of the other settings and on your car. We have ×1 tire wear, ×1 the fuel consumption here as well. For the race we only have the mediums and the hards available, so the medium, the BOP was designed to perform best on those medium tires. For the qualifier itself, we had some soft tires available, and we saw some blistering fast lap times. 7:55, I think, was the pole position earlier on today. Yeah, during race pace, I'm not sure if we see a sub 8 minute on those mediums, but we don't know. Yep, exactly. ERF official, yeah. Wasn't planned for me to do the commentary, but I tried it, but then my setup decided I can't produce and stream at the same time, so that's why we have to go with this stream here. Sorry about that. We're missing out on the lovely overlay and graphics. We've spent quite some time here. Now it's just a naked, pure, raw stream. You get all the nitty-gritty details in this. This is the order after the driver swap, so I I was in the lobby early enough, so that's still fine. The running order is correct after the driver swaps. So we started with 12 teams for NLS 1. We lost one team, unfortunately. The number 6 Tavernello Racing, they could not resume that race for that second stint. So that's why we have 11 teams and running to finish NLS 1 today. Tomorrow then we have NLS number 2. We'll start at 5 PM British Summer Time. Another 4-hour race with some more teams trying to qualify for the 24-hour race in 2 weeks' time. It looks like Squishy Dealer in the 58 is closing that gap to the AMG in front, and we could see a move maybe up towards Smooth Curve. Needs to stay close now for this part, heading into Wehrsifen, down towards Breitscheid. He gets a really good run, 3/10, and is closing the gap. Oh no! Oh. What happened? Where's the car? It's gone. That looked like lag. Oh. Yeah, wow. Lost the car. Let's see, did Squishy Dealer get some damage? No. So probably just in time, a little bit of ghosting happened, so the Nexus racing driver got lucky there. No damage, but moves him up one position now, P6, so that was a moment but big damage now for the AMG. And he's a wreck behind the wheel. They probably need to box this lap. Not sure if they can go fast. This again, they have 22 seconds for now to P8. Maybe that gap will come down a little bit, under 20 seconds. During the pit stop, fixing damage. Yeah, we'll lose that position. But then we have the bigger gaps to the cars behind. More than a minute 26 to P9. It is. And for the second Nexus Racing car, so they had a bit of a moment. The first stint, so they were involved into an incident. Now they find themselves in P9, fighting with the BMW. Now for precision, let's quickly have a look at those lap times. 8:11 for the Beamer, 8:16 for the AMG. So it looks like here the number 14 is catching 1.7 seconds that gap just, and Mojo in P11 now with 4 minutes the gap, so he's already a lap down. I'm not mistaken, the 54 entry for the Scuderia Adriatica Motorsports. Right, let's go back to the lead. See Anchetta for Glockwork Motorsports extending on the lead. It's 1 minute and 2 seconds. So that's a healthy gap, definitely, and this gap has vanished basically. Waxy is gaining on Cameron, 2.5 seconds. Also Lewis looking at that gap, 8.5. Lewis with another improvement on the fastest lap as well, down to a 8:00.59. So maybe he is capable of running a sub 8 minute and during the race. Now let's get a little bit on board with the Lexus, chasing the track design racing Porsche in front, coming out of Michael Schumacher's. It's 1.5 seconds, so that gap stays roughly the same. Gaining a little bit into the slipstream range now it is. And we see E7 is in as expected with that damage. So through the Vedol chicane, it's 1.4, and now let's go onto the Nordschleife for the wild ride. Out of Sabine Schmitzkurve, and it's 1.3, riding the curb, gaining on Cameron 1.2 seconds. It is into Hatzenbach. The fast flowing entry now. Need to slow down a little bit through the S's. Down to a second, so he's really gaining. So over the bridge, Quittelbacher Höhe, and it's the run towards Flugplatz. 9/10, chipping away those 10th now over the crest. Little lift needed probably into the double right-hander at Flugplatz. Yeah, but carries the speed, 8/10. We continue the run towards Schwedenkreuz. Now see 280 kph. The inside, little lift needed, braking for Arenberg. Downhill right, gaining more time, half a second, close, ooh, nearly lost the car on the exit curb. Good catch though, down into Fuchsröhre. We go, 210, gaining into the compression, coming out over the crest into Adenauer Forst now, the entry right, and a slow left-hander, and carry the speed to get the run out of Adenauer Forst. And there is a mistake! No! Another unlucky moment, and it's all kicking off now. Quexy couldn't do anything about that. He got damage. Cameron gets damage. Oh no, we need to go back to the replay immediately. Let's see. Oh, that is the wrong one. So exit out of Adenauer Forst and then touch the grass, sand into a spin, and then it is just weird things happening. Both cars with the damage now. A very unlucky moment for both of the drivers. Quexy got himself up to P2, but Cameron with that damage is probably forced to pit. And this gives Lewis the opportunity, of course, to get past the sister car, so the TDR number 2 Porsche right behind the 4 car. 1.3 seconds, Lewis, the fastest driver on track at the moment. Pretty sure we will see some team order here happening with the run uphill. So coming out of Bergwerk, and Lewis should probably get the run easy enough. Through Kesselchen we go, and a 3/10 already. Oh, the slipstream helping as well. And Lewis up a position into P3, 2.3 seconds that gap to Quexy and Alexis in P2. So into Mutkurve we go. Lewis is still gaining. Yeah, also Quexy and the Green Hell Racing team, they have some damage on the front on their RCF. So they probably will be a sitting duck at the Duttinger hurry. Maybe they can survive now coming out of carousel into the technical fun section. Hohe 8, Wippermann, Brünnchen, Pflanzgarten, etc. So yeah, 1.8 it is. So now arrived at Hohe 8, the highest point on the track. Now we're going downhill a little bit. Well, let's wait. Lewis 1.1 into Brünnchen, out of Brünnchen 2 or YouTube corner towards Ice Curve. It is 1.1 uphill over the crest. A second gaining into Pflanzgarten now. Let's go to... No, Lewis with a mistake! Touched the inside curb. Lost a little bit of momentum, but could correct it. Mistake. But no damage. He can continue. Comes out of Pflanzgarten 2 into Stefan Bellow S. Gaining again. Now braking for Schwalbenschwanz. The fast entry. Right-hander uphill we go. Brake left early on the power. Use the exit curb into Kleine Karussell. The exit of Schwalbenschwanz. It's a second just before Galgenkopf. So should still be in a good position. Quexy struggling to keep that car on track and losing that car. Keeps it out of a spin, but definitely lost some momentum. And Lewis up into P2. So probably that damage on the front didn't really help with the understeer. Lost all of the momentum and gives Cameron the slipstream and the opportunity maybe to get past. Pretty sure both cars will be pitting by the end of this lap. Cameron is gaining 2/10 under the Bildstein Bridge into Tiergarten Senke. Coming out, braking now for Hohenrhein chicane, and looks like Cameron was close but not close enough. So will they pit now? Yep, both coming in. So this gives Beetlejuice in the 66 Audi for GT Finland racers an opportunity to maybe jump up into the third position. Let's wait and see. Oh, there's also fuel going into the cars if they're already pitting that early. And Beetlejuice enters the GP track, crosses the line. Will he jump? Drivers, here's Quexy coming out of pit lane. Beetlejuice right behind. We are braking for turn number 1. And the German driver stays in front just for now. So that pit stop, yeah, definitely cost them some time, but it's P3 still. And for the Lexus, the 66 right behind. It's the 67. Oh, sorry. Usually the GT Finland racers are using their 66 number, so that tells me they have entered a second car for NLS 2. So it's the 67 car. So deal with it. I said it. And for GT Finland racers, Cameron dropped down from P2 to P5 now. New set of mediums, full tank, and the damage is gone. So that's 11.5 seconds for now. Squishy, and the 58 for Nexus Racing is making some progress here. Under 10 seconds it is for now. Of course, the two cars that have pitted now are probably on a bit of an offsetting strategy. Don't think they can run all the way to the end, but I don't know. Maybe it's doable with a full tank. Then it's race to the flag, so 10 laps, including this one. Matteo's P1 is gone. They are gone. 1 minute and 9 seconds. So they're losing a little bit of time to Lewis in the number 2 Porsche. Lewis with those really fast lap times, gained a couple of seconds per lap so far. Quexy in the Lexus didn't refuel that much, if at all, so that's why he has a bigger gap now to Cameron behind. 3.5 seconds to Beetlejuice, so tells Quexy in the Lexus is pushing again. But they were basically separated by a second when Quexy left the pits, so now it's 4 seconds, so I think Cameron is slightly gaining on Beetlejuice. Let's continue with the grid rundown now, so we can see the gaps between other teams. Lap times for Squishy Dealer 806 to 804, or less than 10 seconds, so we'll remember that till the next time we come back to them. E7, it's the 29 Porsche with Canu driving. So that's the DC team. And in the P8, the 27 AMG for Rust Racing Team. 28 seconds, so that's a bit more than a pit stop in hand for a DC team. P9, we have the 59 car, Nexus Racing. It was me. Is driving 1 minute and 5 seconds to get to P8, so that needs to rely on some kind of major mistakes from the drivers in front. Ciofo, I don't know how to pronounce that name, sorry, in the 14 car for Scuderia Adriatica Motorsport, and Ojo sitting in pit lane. Did they retire the car? I don't see any work on that car. Don't think so. Something is happening here for that second Scuderia Adriatica entry. So yeah, looks like they are sitting in pit lane and waiting for things to happen. Let's stay with the leaders, shall we? The consistency is for real, I think, with Ancetta in that Ferrari. Improvement now, 804, probably just 804.6, yeah. 805, 806, 805, 804. Lewis gained another 2 to 3 seconds. on that lap so far. It's still important for every team to continue with the race. So as mentioned, so it's the first of 2 qualifier races over this weekend, and the top 14 teams on time, not the top 7 from both races, will get into the main event. So that's why you need to keep an eye on that overall finishing time. Yeah, another fast lap for Lewis incoming. So 1:06, so I think roughly by the end of the pit stop window period, this gap should be around about a minute. Yeah, Quaxi indeed is flying, gained a couple of seconds on his outlet to Beetlejuice. It's doing consistent 8/10. Now the gap to Cameron, and not that much changed, I think. Maybe 1.5 seconds. And in favor of Cameron, but also look to that gap behind P6, Squishy Dealer, 7.8 seconds, also gaining, and with lap times matching the leaders currently in P6, running in that AMG. Let's do a little bit of onboard. A bit aggressive with too much curb and also into the dirt. I lost a little bit. Let's watch him through the chicane. Smooth, yeah. A little bit off lag. So that's making me dizzy, the lag, so sorry we had to come out of that onboard. Also, Canoe in the 29 for DC team with some great lap times, 8:05s, also matching Enchetta the lead, and they can continue. Let's see. It's 30 seconds. That's still a big gap, of course. To Squishy, who's also doing the same lap times. Cameron. It was the outlap, so we don't know exactly the lap time, but just judging the gaps, so around about 8:04, 8:05 maybe as well, with that pace currently. So I think P4 is still within reach for the number 4 TDR Racing Porsche then. What's the idea for the 67 car? Roughly 5 seconds slower at the moment compared to the cars surrounding him. Doing a little bit of a fuel saving strategy as well, but it's probably not working. Would be losing too much time in the end. In that first stint where Shadow was driving that Audi, it was also interesting to see with the setup, so that Audi was like a sitting duck on the Höhe compared to especially the Tavanello Racing Ferrari. It was crazy to see, but definitely more downforce on that car. And they could fight with the cars around them. But definitely a different approach to the race, where to find time, where to lose time on this long track was for the team. But now they're losing to Quexi and Green Hell Racing in P3. They had to come in to fix the damage after that unlucky moment with the number 4 car. So they have fresh tires, that's at least something, right? But then again, they will not sure, maybe they will do 1 or 2 more laps compared to the other drivers, then have better tires towards the end of the stint. Lewis and still chipping away those, it's not 10th, 100th, it's seconds. Minute and 3. Big drift. So I think it will be 1 more lap for most of the drivers before we see them heading into the pit lane and change. Do they change tires? It's probably not needed. You could double stint those mediums. Here, probably you don't lose that much time, 4 to 5 seconds, I think, for changing tires. So it's probably a no-brainer. And during on the pit stop as well, it's more like the time you lose with the refueling. 3 liters per second. It is. Should be probably another 801, 802 for Lewis. Let's wait. 8026. Yep. So he's on a mission. Yes. Still has 8 to go. Is it doable to gain a minute in 8 laps? It's 3 to 4 per lap currently, so nope. Definitely not. So let me go to Aaron, who I had a mistake, or not sure. Lost 2, 3 tenths to Beetlejuice in front, and Squishy Dealer closed that gap rapidly, 2.2 seconds. Let's see the lap time. It's 8:12 for Cameron, and an 8:06 or squishy dealer. Okay, interesting. So Cameron doesn't want to pit again, so he's saving fuel here. The other drivers around, yep, they're on their initial strategy, doing that one stop, cutting the stint in halves, usually that driver stint. So yeah, that's why it's a bit of a different approach. Yeah, but I felt like he was skating on Beetlejuice earlier on this lap. Was already less than 9 seconds, if I can remember correctly. Now it's up to 11 seconds again, and the AMG behind is approaching. It's less than 2 for the Nexus Racing. AMG. He also lost a little bit of time now compared to his personal best. Lap 5 at 8:04, now down to 8:06. But good run out of Hatzenbach. And so here we go. We were wondering about the throwback liveries and what's it all about. The number 4 car, yeah, that Stefan Belloff Group C inspired livery. And what's the number 2 livery then? Looks also like inspired by a classic design. Let's go back to this upcoming. The 917 car. Okay, nice. So yeah. Now also this Audi Quattro livery, the iconic rally car, and so I guess Walter Röhrl would be proud seeing that livery theme on a modern Audi R8 GT3 car. And we, with the car that we lost, the number 6 Tavanello Racing also had some kind of Lotus-inspired livery, that black and gold, whatever. So yeah, a couple of really nice-looking liveries on that grid, for sure, and that's always nice to see the effort that goes into making those liveries and preparing for the events itself. So it is good to see, definitely. If you're rooting for the number 4 car, then it's probably not good what you are seeing currently at the gap. has come down. And there was a little mistake out of mood curve for Squishy Dealer, so for a brief moment it was 1.4. It's up to 1.9 again, but then Cameron with a little wiggle. Maybe it was just a little bit of lag, so... Not sure, out of the carousel he keeps that 1.9 seconds when we entered this section. Let's see the fast flowing corners now at Hoyacht. Lexus is gaining through this part of the track down to 1.6. The leader is in for the pit stop. Cullenard into Brünnchen we go. Using the curb. Carrying the speed. Can he stay in front outside of slipstream range? And that is the question. So the leader's in. What about Lewis? Yeah, less than a minute. Also, he's quite low on fuel, so he will be pitting now. It's 1.3, so Squishy Dealer into the slipstream range, coming out of Pflanzgarten. Now it's 1.3, and they're gaining on Beetlejuice in the 67 Audi. .11 second exit of Kleine Karussell. Again, a little bit of a wiggle. Big moment for the number 4. I think they are in danger now. I think there was a lift needed, but also then Squishy Dealer runs wide over the grass. Not ideal exit out of Geigenkopf. The slipstream will save him a little bit, but he would have been in a way better position. Sixth, 10th. He still gets some slip before the braking zone. It's 3/10 now. So Lewis finished the pit stop down to P3, and Squishy is in for the service. Cameron staying out up to P4 again behind the teammates in P2. So gap over a minute now. Maybe that Porsche a bit more thirsty compared to the Ferrari. So race situation, Clockwork Motorsports, 56, sorry, Ferrari, leading this race comfortably. And then 64 Green Hell Racing Lexus RCF P2. They need to pit again, so that is probably P4 then. Currently the number 2 TDR Porsche, and third position, in fourth position the number 4 Porsche. And we have the Audi R8 for GT Finland racers in P5. 8.3 seconds to Nexus Racing in the AMG. But Squishy Dealer had more pace on his first stint on the mediums. Can he close that gap to the P5? The DC team, the 29 Porsche in P7 on the outlap again after doing their service. The 27 now coming out of pit lane as well. Rust Racing team. It's P8. The second Nexus Racing car is also an AMG, and in 9th position, probably doing another lap, or won't they? I have no clue. See, looks like they're staying out. Number 14, W, and with 2 minutes and 23 seconds currently the gap to P9. And Mojo, after a long pit stop, now out on the track again. The 54 car racing with us. So yeah, bit spread out now after 3 hours of racing, so roughly 55 minutes I think to go, and for NLS number 1. Some blue flags showing for the 54 car. Who said just saw that Lexus running, so could be Lewis right behind. And with the blue flags, gap between P7 and P9. So that we need to do some quick math then, right? So 2:46 for P7 to the lead. 3:57, so good. 1 minute 11 seconds at the moment. Zach is in the house and says Beetle, so I go to the Finnish driver. But he might be in danger. Squishy dealer behind is catching. Gained 2 seconds on the outlap already. And this was a theme I tried to be could see in that first half of the stint between the two drivers. The question is also here, can Cameron make it to the end on fuel? So they were forced to pit early after getting involved into an accident. They lost the car, spun, car behind. The 64 car currently running in P2, then couldn't avoid them, hit them, both received damage and had to pit early. Number 4 car, they decided to put in all the fuel they had and then go for a long stint, while the 64 car, they didn't put in fuel, or not that much. Didn't see that during the pit stop. So they're going for one more stop now, and let's see if they want to go for another one. I think they could make it on fuel, but is it worth the risk? Like, they're also having a little bit of suspension damage on the front left. But lap times are, don't think that slows them down too much at the moment. 108, 802, 801s. That is doable, and yeah, having a light car for one more lap Why not? I wouldn't be surprised to see them out, staying out for one more lap. Indeed, eventually they will lose that position to the number 2 Porsche behind. They have made their pit stop already. And let's see. Okay, doing one more. And what's the lap time? 8:02. A lap time for leaders we don't know. Did their out lap. Now the first time lap after the pit stop. Lewis also completed the out lap, so he was the fastest driver that first half of the race. Roughly a minute to the leaders again, but they lost some time during the pit stop. So we heard in the chat that the Porsche is a bit thirsty compared to the Ferrari, or how it's set up at least for our race leaders. But Lewis is definitely pushing. Cameron in the number 4 car in P4, and here we go, down to 3 seconds between Beetlejuice and Squishy Dealer. I think we will see that battle very soon. Let's have a look at the lap. Oh, it was the out lap, so we don't see, but still on the out lap, roughly 5 seconds. But 58 gate on the 67. We should catch him probably after the carousel. Improving on his personal best on the GP track. Can Beetlejuice find a little bit of pace out of this Audi? He did very consistent lap times on his first stint. Still see them showing on the right hand side. But that's still 4 to 5 seconds per lap slower than Squishy Dealer was running. Oh, yep. Through Hudson-Bach and roughly 2 seconds, so good run for the AMG driver. Might be able to catch that Audi earlier than expected. Up towards Flugplatz we go. 1.6, 1.5, and he's keeping it flat through Flugplatz, so good aerodynamic setup. And on that AMG, definitely gaining 1.4, 1.3 at Schwedenkreuz, and he gets the benefit of a tow into Fuchsröhre. Lost a little bit on the exit though. Downhill should give him a little bit of an advantage. Let's see, 1.3. into Adenauer Forst and carried that momentum, that speed. Wow. That was impressive. Committed, that run. Oh, half a second, it's on now. Oh, the rear steps out a little bit. Through miss hit miss. Using the gears to keep that car in line. Good run down towards Breitscheid, over the bridge. Uphill, Exmühle, early on the power, riding the curb. Gets close now. It is 3/10. Braking for Bergwerk. The important corner on the exit for the long run uphill. We go. It's 4/10. Initial acceleration is good on that Audi. But now it will be the slipstream. It's helping. Squishy. 2.5. 1/10. But he has to lift before Mutkurve wasn't close enough. Touch the inside curb. Unsettle that car a little bit. Keeps it under control. Braking. Right up towards the carousel. Left, it's the old Stahlstrecke. We are not racing that anymore. So now into the Caracciola carousel. Oh, not the best entry. But gets a decent run out of carousel now. We go up towards Boacht. Left into right. On that crest, accelerate early. Into Wippermann, left, right. A little lift needed. Into Kallenhardt, downhill, left. Dirty air maybe affecting that car into Brünchen. Carrying the momentum out of Brünchen. Bit of lag now happening in the lobby. Hopefully it will settle down again. Over the crest at Eiskurve and entering Pflanzgarten. A little jump. Brake right on the power again. Safety lift. And the 64 is in. So they did one more lap with 0 liters remaining. Coming into pit lane. Stefan Bellofes. It's a close 3/10, but not close enough. We are entering Schwalbenschwanz. Single file through the zoo. Looked a bit wide. Still okay. That gap should be enough. Then to get the run on the Döttinger Höhe. Gets a good exit out of Kleine Karussell. Into Galgenkopf. And we saw a couple of drivers running a bit wide on the exit. It looks decent. 3/10. And coming towards the Audi bridge. And this should be an easy overtake now for Squishy Dealer and Nexus Racing. Now 6th gear, the slipstream is picking up. Using a little bit of side draft as well. Getting in front. Just but also that AMG not quite a rocket ship down the straight, so without that slipstream it would have been tough. Still like a fairly easy overtake and on that long straight, and instantly half a second up. But Beetlejuice with a, I think, personal best, 8:09.8. So let's see, where's the 64? So out in P3, roughly 10 seconds in front of the number 4 car. The lead gap now 52 seconds currently. So Lewis doing Lewis things at an 8:00.7 compared to an 8:09.3, and I see a little bit of suspension damage on the front right showing for the 56 Clockwork Motorsports 56 Ferrari. Probably a little scare for the team. So lost some time. Usually they're in the 8:05, roughly that, so 4 seconds slower than usually. With 4.5 laps to go for NLS number 1. So 56 leading the number 2 in P2. Then the 64 Lexus in 3rd position. Number 4, we have the number 4 Porsche. For the gap to Squishy and Nexus Racing after the overtake, 35 seconds, so that should be enough. Ooh. What happened here? Who was that? I think it was Mojo who had a moment at Hatzenbach. Let's see what happened. Ooh. Touched the inside curb and went for the grass line, jumped over the curb again and straight into the barrier. So an unlucky race for the 54 car. Let's see the next gap. So we're running down the order. Let's run up the order, right? So in P10 it's the number 14. Yeah, exactly. So I think the initial contact, so he was parked at the barrier, that was good, but then he tried to recover, and that put this car in an awkward place for a moment. Yeah, luckily no one from the drivers behind got some damage. So the 14 car, the BMW, in 10th position. Then we move up the 59 for the Nexus Racing team in P9. P8 we have Ross Racing, a 27 AMG. The gap to P7 quite big. That's a DEC team in P7. 29 car with some good lap times throughout this race. 28 seconds, that gap to the 67 Audi for GT Finland races with Beetlejuice, and they cannot match that pace. And from Squishy Dealer in that second Nexus Racing 58 car. Uh, 31 seconds, probably also a bit out of reach. If fuel and tires will make it to the end of this race, then The number 4 should be in a good position as well to qualify for the 24-hour race in 2 weeks' time. Green Hell Racing in P3, 64 Lexus. A strong pace. I think the second quickest driver on track. That unlucky moment, which did cost them the P2. It's also, I think, in a solid position and to qualify. Still, we don't know. So it's overall race time across the 2 NLS races, and NLS 2 will happen tomorrow afternoon. So after that, we see those times, and I'm not sure if the race pace will be better in that second race. We definitely have some strong lineups on the spotters guide for NLS 2. So in theory, and this is also what Styx TC mentioned on Stint number 1 on the ERF channel, like even if you finish on the podium, it's not guaranteed if NLS 2 is way quicker overall. So we don't know. We have the same conditions, though. It's same weather pattern. We have equal conditions on, so wind isn't a factor for this race. So that's why it should be comparable in between the 2 races. Wow, look at Lewis. 7:58.939 on the racing mediums during race pace. That's a lap and a half now. He's definitely pushing 46 seconds too. And Shatter in the lead. So lap times, that little bit of suspension damage, wheel damage, whatever it is, doesn't have a really big impact. So doing 805s on that previous lap is roughly what he did before the pit stop. But it's that one little lapse of concentration, that one little mistake. You get damage, you lose time on that lap, you might be forced to pit. And then these 45 seconds, then they're gone. There you have to definitely keep your focus up for the remaining 3.5 laps this race. So that's 8. Just a little bit under 30 minutes. And if we translate that into remaining race time, looks connected now, I think, so all good. Doesn't seem to be struggling a lot with the conditions of the car. I think having it under control. On the other hand, how is Lewis' confidence level? I mean, that's 758, pretty high, I assume, but maybe he gets a bit too motivated. We all know this track is not really forgiving. But yeah, great stint so far. Oh, TDR number 2, and Lewis that second stint, and he's going quicker. He is going quicker. Let's get a little bit on board. We have a disconnect. Someone leaving the room. Oof. Looked a little bit sketchy, but maybe also just lag. We don't know. It was the 14 car that disconnected, so the Scuderia Adriatico Motorsport, the BMW, they disconnected from the lobby. Yep, it's always sad to see disconnects, but it's like I can only repeat myself. It's part of the game, unfortunately, with online racing. So nearly 3/10 up on this fastest lap. What's going on? Keeping that purple. Up. Hot lapping or not, he's pushing and he's gaining on the leader, so you never know. That didn't look that smooth and tidy, to be honest. Let's see. It was fast though. Maybe it's still just the lag in the lobby. 3.5 tenths up on the fastest lap, so looking maybe at a 58.6 or 5. Braking for Hohenrhein-Schikane. Will we see the new fastest lap again? A 0.6. Well done, well done. Oh, less than 40 seconds. And Cheta doing 8:05, so all good on his side, so not losing really time. Oh, in P3, 64 green hell racers. Also no problem. Then with 3 to go, 8:02. Here, 30 seconds up the road to Cameron, who is, yeah, it looks like he is saving some fuel. Definitely the lap times are dropping. 8:10, 8:12, 8:14. The gap to Squishy Dealer, 18 seconds and coming down. This looks to be a slightly faster lap again, 8:12, maybe 13:0 for Cameron. He definitely has less fuel compared to the 58 behind. Oh, Squishy is pushing. 8:038 personal best. What is possible? Beetlejuice improves his personal best here as well, 8:083. Keeping the DC team at bay. At 8:15 last time round didn't really help them to bring that gap down. But now with a personal best, he looking for a low 8:05. An 8:05.4, but definitely an improvement for the team. But still 31 seconds with 3 laps to go. It's 3-4 laps, seconds per lap, roughly quicker, so probably not. But what about this gap? So it just 8-9 seconds per lap currently. What we see a lap time difference between the 58 and the 4. This might be a close one. And towards the end, towards the run to the checkered flag. And I think Cameron is roughly at the same fuel level as Quexy now in the Lexus. Yeah, who is even lower on that fuel. Maybe Lewis having too much fun and hasn't like watched the fuel. But he probably still can save some if needed. It won't be another fastest lap though. 7/10 down now. Still gaining on our leaders, 36 seconds. Oh yeah, no additional damage on that car, so all good. Gap between P4 and P5. Less than 15 seconds, so if that trend, like with 8 seconds per lap, Miss Squishy will catch Cameron on that final lap. But it's like actually nice to see, like, for different manufacturers in that top 5 with Ferrari, Porsche, Lexus and AMG. It's not just one car dominating. Yeah, a bit sideways. But it doesn't really slow him down at all. Oh, 12.5 and I think that Cameron should have the fuel right where it should be, but then there's also like those tires, like definitely more wear on them because of that forced early pit stop after the damage. Clearly see there's some difference there with the tire wear showing between the two, and no, there's the commentator's curse. Cushitilo. That's probably the end of his chase. The hunt is over. That mistake. Oh no, coming out of carousel and the curb too aggressive. Yeah, did the 50-50 grind over the curb and the car didn't like that at all. No, not so smooth drift at all. But he somehow avoided, yeah, the damage. So in a favorite angle, probably where he hit the barrier and the speed, but definitely lost quite some time and maybe also his rhythm. It's then just 2 seconds to Beetlejuice and the 67 crew behind. Maybe there's an opportunity again. So if with that mistake that gets to your head, and then you're pretty much like you're questioning yourself now, why and how, and it's can he shake it off, like get back into the state of mind. He was doing quick lap times, no doubt about that, with 8:03.8 last time round, and a bit wide over the grass, not the ideal exit, but is outside of the slipstream range, so we'll keep that P5. Quick check, 8:06s for Enchetta, 8:08, so 4 or 5 seconds still gaining. Gap down to 34, 8:14 for Coaxi. Personal best. Penultimate lap of the NLS 1 race. So it looks like the top positions are settled. We have these two close after that big mistake. Lost him more than 10 seconds. And Beetle, he is going faster and faster. Personal best again, 8:076. Can he stay close enough? And you never know, if a mistake happens once, it might happen twice. But maybe just now, like Okay, the hunt for P4 is over. Let's just bring it home in P5. Don't risk anything. Don't say anything. Yeah, no. I'm trying to build the drama here, right, for those races. Something. Yeah, it's like something will happen. It's the nature of the game. Quick look further down the order. P7, it's still the DC team. The 29 Porsche, 32 seconds the gap. And we have the 27 AMG for Rust Racing in 8th position. Oh, 7 seconds to P9, the second Nexus Racing AMG. See the lap times. Yeah, it looks like 27 is struggling a little bit. I think they made an additional pit stop. Didn't change tires though. Maybe just damage. 5.5. Oh, it was me. It's catching. It's catching now. It's roughly 5 seconds, and I have 1.5 laps to do, so they won't be able to see the checkered flag. Probably when the leader crosses the line, we have those maximum 3 minutes of overrun. But yeah, still quite some time to, and maybe P8 and P9 is not over yet. And see WM controlling the race. Again, consistent lap times after this little mistake that happened. Probably lap 10 with that 809 and that front right wheel or suspension damage. "31 seconds to Lewis, who is put it on the show. Definitely hot lapping this number 2 Porsche, and shows what pace is doable. And with this custom BOP on medium tires, also the Lexus RCF, probably the underdog of the entire grid. Like, I was really surprised to see that car on the grid. Well done for the 64 team so far. P3, Hide and Quexy are doing a good job in that 64. Lexus P3 for now. The Cameron for TDR number 4 will most likely keep that to P4. 18 seconds. Squishy is gaining again, so gap between Squishy and Beetle went up from 2 to roughly 4 seconds again. See that gap? It's going the other way. So I think we had like 5 seconds. Now we are back at 14. There's the damage on the rear. Unlucky I guess, for it was me and Nexus Racing in the 59 AMG. So 14 seconds to the 27. I think they should be safe. And here we go. Final lap of the race. 29 seconds to gap for Anchetta and the Clockwork Motorsports through the 56 Ferrari 296. Next driver to start the final lap will be Lewis. Another 8-minute lap time. He's not easy enough here at all. Why should he? It's still overall race time. That will get you into the 24-hour race in 2 weeks' time. So push, push. And we'll see the 64 starting their final lap. I think Cameron made it work, that fuel and a tire saving run in the number 4 Porsche run by Track Design Racing. After that costly mistake from Squishy Dealer earlier on, that P4 looking good, and he's going faster now. He knows like he will make it on fuel. 8-10 again. Squishy Dealer then for Nexus Racing 58. E6, it is the 67 crew. Nice crew. I don't think so. It's overall race time. At least that's my understanding from what we have discussed. But I think we will clarify that in the Discord. But I don't think that it's top 7 from every lobby. That's why we set it like to equal conditions across both races, so it's the top 14 times across both races. The DC team is on the final lap. As well. And then we are waiting for the 27 and the 59, and it looks like the 54, they have retired the car. If that's the wording from the rulebook, okay. Yeah. Let's not speculate on that during the stream. Let's wait and for confirmation from the organizers later. So still. Yeah, it's fine. I'm also part of the organization team, so it's all fine. We were like in discussions, Mr. T, myself, Philo. We are like the organization team here for ERF, so all good. But yeah, I don't want to confirm or deny anything here on the live stream when you say it, but Jaeger said it on the stream. It's like that. It's like that. So it was my understanding what I've communicated throughout this event so far, and so we'll see. We'll get official confirmation on the ERF in the ERF Discord definitely later on. Yeah, it's fine. It's a good thing you bring it up, Shadow. So if there's something not clearly worded, it might bring up some discussions and some confusion. So all good, and we will definitely make the announcement then. Here we go. We have in chat at least fastest 14 total times get through. So that's at least a statement in the stream chat as of now. The final time into Brünchen. You hear the beats pumping. He comes out of YouTube corner. 24 seconds. Still a big gap. Pflanzgarten, no drama. And then Pflanzgarten 2, the little jump, which isn't there anymore. Coming out of Schwalbenschwanz, the next party hotspot on the track. Oh, a little bit of slide coming out of Kleine Karussell, but he kept it under control. Final time through Galgenkopf, the double right-hander on to die Döttinger Höhe here as well. And I think he can celebrate with the team then. Now, yeah, he's flashing the lights. The CWM are back in ERF with a victory for NLS 1. Final braking zone. Now into Hohenrhein chicane. He goes right, left, onto the GP track, and then the 56 Ferrari wins NLS number 1. P2, we have track design racing number 2. That Porsche, ooh, and Lewis with a slide. What a stint it was from Lewis. Gained so much time on the leaders, and P2 for the number 2. And we have Green Hell Racers, the Lexus RCF, will finish on the podium. So, great result. It's probably just that gap to the leaders over a minute. So that's something then we will monitor after NLS 2. But unlucky for Maxi with that being involved in that incident with Cameron, who comes out of Galgenkopf now. Should bring home that P4 for track design racing. 10 seconds, it is too squishy. Just cycle through the grid out a little bit, because with the time running out we don't see the gap. So it's 3:05 for P7. 5:08 P8, 6 minutes for P9, and 29:25 for P10 currently. Squishy would definitely have caught him without that mistake, I'm pretty sure. 8:10s are 8:12s are good lap times, but Squishy was catching. He was doing 8:03s, 8:04s, so with that pace. So pretty sure it would have been pretty close between those two, but we don't know. So Squishy P5 for Nexus Racing, and it's Beetlejuice for GT Finland Racers in P6. And then, let's see, we have 20 odd seconds, so we have a 3:07 for DC Team, 5:09, 5:10 for Rust Racing, 6:02 for Nexus Racing, and 24:45. So we just need to then remember those gaps, just put them on so we can look them up later on. So to get the exact race times at least as close as possible. Here you see the top 6 and Clockwork Motorsports with that victory, 21.8 seconds the gap to 2 and Rexy for Green Hell Racing on the podium. See the remaining positions then on the screen with DNF for the number 14 and the number 6 car couldn't start that second half. NLS 1 race. So, alright. I have prepared so many nice looking graphics on the official broadcast, but I don't have it available now on this screen. So we will be back for NLS 2 tomorrow. It will be at 5 p.m. British summertime. Hopefully we'll get the broadcast sorted then again with reliable streamers and machinery. There's heat and stuff. So yeah, looking forward to that. And then of course in 2 weeks time we have the Nürburgring 24-hour weekend. We have qualifying on the Friday, qualifying 1 and Super Pole, but we also have like a support race coming up. We do have some stuff planned here. I can't show you, but I can read it out for you. It's not an issue. So here we go. I have the flyer. So we have for the Nürburgring 24-hour race weekend. So we have the ADAC Super Cup Legends Group C race, the support race on the Friday for the main qualifying session. On Saturday and Sunday, 24-hour race that we will see the top 14 cars from NLS 1 and 2 then competing for that one. Looking forward to that. I hope to see you. Thank you all for watching. Have a good time. Have a great weekend. See you soon. Bye.